I think the camera's rolling. If it isn't, I guess I'll just be rambling to myself. Hello, everybody. Or hello, nobody, depending on if I recorded this properly or not. I hope you're all having a very nice and calm night. I myself, well, I had a very nice, relaxing day because it's Saturday. What did I do? Well, first I woke up and I was watching reruns of Seinfeld when I went to sleep on Friday night, and when I woke up, they were still playing, so I woke up to Kramer's voice, and I quickly turned the TV off, and then I laid in bed for a few moments. You know, I really enjoy those few moments in bed before you get up. Sometimes it's really nice to just lay there and go, I could just not get out of bed. And of course, I usually don't go through with those thoughts, but it's nice to still have them. Just the thought that I could do that if I wanted to eases my heart and soul. And so, after I pondered that, I got out of bed and I went downstairs. Cosmo was in the kitchen. Jeremy was in the fridge. That's pretty normal. I think that was around 8, maybe 8:15. I went downstairs and I said good morning. Jeremy tried to bite my toes. Cosmo said hello. And I went to make myself a cup of tea. Usually on the weekends I'll have a nice cup of peppermint tea to start off the day. I'll have iced tea during the summer, but it's been cold here again after that nice warm spell. Oh, wasn't that nice? Wasn't it so nice to have a few days of 60, 70, depending on where you are. Maybe it was in the 80s or the 90s. But here, well, it was so nice to go from 20s and 30s to 50s and 60s and even 70s for a minute there. It gets me in the mood for spring. Oh, it's one of my favorite times of year. You get to see the little flowers popping up out of the ground, and then you get to take nice, long, muddy walks, but you don't care 'cause you're just excited to be out of the house. And that's exactly how I feel right now. I like to go for long, contemplative walks in nature. And then I get to work on my garden. My mama, she used to have a wonderful garden when I was a child. We would grow zucchinis and green beans and, sugar snap peas. Gosh, I want some sugar snap peas right about now. She would grow tomatoes, garlic, bell peppers. Is there anything else? Oh, cucumbers. And then a bunch of herbs in a separate little garden that was attached, but you had to walk through this little white picket gate to get to that section. It was wonderful, and me and my friends would go back out there during the spring and summer, well, mostly the summer, and we would gorge ourselves on fresh vegetables. We also had a couple apple trees, a pear tree, and a peach tree. Those fresh peaches. There's nothing like it. But where was I? Oh, I'm sorry. I must have rambled again, lost track of what I was saying. So this morning, I was coming downstairs. I had my cup of hot peppermint tea. It was windy outside, and I can still hear the wind battering against the walls of this house. Makes me all the more happy to be here and not out there. No, I don't want to be out there. Not right now. But anyway, after that, I went and sat down in my favorite rocking chair in the corner, had my tea, had a kiwi fruit. Have you ever had a kiwi fruit? They are delicious. And we have a big old bundle of them right now in the fridge. And I guess you're usually supposed to peel the kiwi skin, but I did not do that at first. I just bit it, and it's a little bit hairy. So I proceeded to get up and peel it and bring it back and eat it the correct way. But after I had my kiwi and my tea, I got to editing videos. There was a couple videos that we had recorded that I knew I had to edit. One of which I think you will see tomorrow. And then we discussed plans for further videos later that day, but I'm getting ahead of myself. I was editing the videos. I think it took me probably 2 2 hours or so to edit the video that I was working on. And then I did some maintenance on the channel, which is something else I do sometimes. Then Cosmo came out. We had a nice little chat. We talked about what we needed to do today, and then we sat down together and discussed video ideas while Jeremy wrestled this little plushie of Kirby that Cosmo has. Yes, it was a nice distraction while we were talking, and Jeremy had his contributions of a few of his and a few other stuff like that, those noises he makes. So anyway, we talked about some future ideas, wrote them down, came up with what we might need for them. That went on for another few hours at least. We also just talked. It doesn't always need to be about business, And after that, I believe it was a little past my usual lunchtime, but that's okay. I got up. I made myself a grilled cheese sandwich. It was a perfect grilled cheese sandwich. You know how? When it's just cooked right, that golden brown crust with the cheese melted all the way through. That's what I had, and it was delicious. And I had a mixture of Swiss and provolone. I like to do that, mix cheeses sometimes. But after that, I ate my sandwich, cleaned up around the house a little bit. We here all have to do our share, so I vacuumed and cleaned off my desk and folded the blanket that I keep on my chair that I use to cover my legs because they get a little bit cold. They're not cold now, though. My mama always used to have cold legs, too. She would always complain, even if it was really, really nice outside. She'd always be like, "Gosh, my legs are cold." I would say, "Mama, how is that possible? It's 85 degrees and sunny out." And she'd be in pants. I don't understand. But as I get older, I start to a little bit more. I'm always colder now. You'd think with all this fluff, I would never be cold, but sometimes I am. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yes, I was talking about how I folded the blanket that sits on my chair, and I also made sure the laundry was all put in the laundry basket. These are just little things that I can do to help out around the house. And then I watched a couple videos on YouTube, mostly about how to play guitar, because I'm trying to learn, but it's pretty hard. I fiddled around with the guitar for a minute. Well, probably for around a half an hour or so. And then it was getting pretty close to dinner time. So, me and Cosmo sat down and talked about what we might want for dinner. We settled on doing raviolis. Those raviolis were good. We get them from our local supermarket, but I actually learned how to make them a few years back. And they are so much better fresh. But the ones we get are also pretty good. Good enough. I didn't have what I needed to make the raviolis that I wanted. And so, usually for dinner, we always look around the fridge, look inside the freezer, and then see what our best options are. And those were sitting there in the freezer, and they were looking mighty good. And Jeremy wanted them too. So we made some raviolis, sat down together, chatted while we ate at the dinner table, and then went out to go watch a movie. Yes. And we watched this funny comedy movie that I don't remember the name of. I'm not even sure Cosmo told me. He just said, "This movie looks good," and then we watched it. But it was really funny. And now, here I am. I brushed my teeth already. I combed my fur. And now I'm ready for bed. Tomorrow is Sunday, so I get to have a nice day all over again. And I hope you are having a nice day. I hope your Saturday was nice as well. It's always enjoyable to just relax with the people you care about. But now, I think it's time for me to go to bed. Feeling mighty tired. Oh. Yeah. So, I hope you enjoyed this. I also wonder if this video will even get made, because I don't know. I think I see the red dot. Yeah, I think so. But if not, well, it was still nice to talk for a little while before bed. Sleep well, my friends, and you have a good night. Ugh.